Ladies and gentlemen, the new year has begun with our world in turmoil. We are living in dangerous times.
A lot has happened between the US and Iran since the beginning of 2020, and the conflict has continued to escalate. The recent spike in tensions followed the targeted killing of Iran's most powerful military general, Qassem Soleimani. A US drone strike killed Soleimani as he left Baghdad International Airport. President Donald Trump said the general has killed or badly wounded thousands of Americans and was plotting to kill many more. The attack also killed 2 members of the Popular Mobilization Forces, including its deputy commander. Thousands of people came out the next day in Baghdad for Soleimani's funeral procession. Trump warned Iran that if it retaliates, the US will target cultural Iranian sites, and it will be hit very fast and very hard. Iranian diplomat Javad Zarif responded by saying that targeting cultural sites is a war crime. Iran then says it will no longer follow the limits within its 2015 nuclear deal. World leaders Angela Merkel, Emmanuel Macron, and Boris Johnson released a joint statement about the conflict, calling on everyone involved to exercise utmost restraint. In the US, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Saudi Arabia's defense minister met in Washington to discuss how to maintain peace in the region. And the American Defense Secretary said the country has no plans to pull its troops out of Iraq. Meanwhile, people flood the streets of Tehran to mourn Soleimani. And in his home city of Kerman, more than 1 million people showed up for Soleimani's funeral. There was a stampede. More than 50 people were reported dead and more than 200 people were hurt. The general was buried later on. And because of safety concerns, Canada, Germany, and other allies say they want to pull out some of their troops stationed in Iraq. The next day, Iran struck back against the US, launching missile attacks on its 2 military bases used by US-led forces in Iraq. The same day, in a seemingly unrelated incident, Ukrainian International Airlines flight PS752 crashed near Iran's capital shortly after takeoff. All 176 people on board the flight to Kiev were killed, including at least 63 Canadians. Soon after, leaders from the US and Iran reacted to the attacks on the military bases.
Now, the issue of vengeance or retaliation is a different issue. Well, we just gave them a slap in the face.
As long as I'm president of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. I'm pleased to inform you, the American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime.
Then came more reports about the plane crash in Iran, suggesting US officials are confident Iran shot down the Ukrainian Airlines flight.
Mr. President, the plane that went down from Iran, what do you think happened to that plane?
Well, I have my suspicions. Somebody could have made a mistake on the other side. It was flying in a pretty rough neighborhood.
Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confirmed his government has new information showing the plane may have been shot down.
The evidence indicates that the plane was shot down by an Iranian surface-to-air missile. This may well have been unintentional. This new information reinforces the need for a thorough investigation into this matter.